Managing those cruise expectations. Wow, that could be such a crazy and fun conversation. So today, that's something that I just wanted to dive into. It's something that I've covered with a lot of people. It's something that I've talked to people about as they were planning cruises. And I think that there's some really important things that people need to keep in mind when they're talking about planning a cruise vacation. It's pretty interesting to me that when I talk to people and they tell me they're going to go on a cruise, I'm so excited for them. I love cruising, obviously. And as soon as someone tells me that they're planning on going on a cruise, I'm all in. I'm all in on talking to them about their vacation. First thing I always ask is like, hey, what ship are you going on? It amazes me that nobody ever seems to know. Somebody else always booked their trip, or if they booked it, they don't know. They just, oh, I think I'm going on the Caribbean one. It's like, okay, the Royal Caribbean? Are you going on to the Caribbean? What's going on here? So I distinctly remember a conversation that I had with someone who was going on a cruise on, I want to say it was Harmony of the Seas at the time. And I was so excited for him. I'm like, man, you guys picked the biggest ship. You're going to have such a great time. I can't wait to hear all about this. And he's like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to going to the Caribbean. And I said, oh, cool. You got a Caribbean cruise? He goes, yep. Yeah, that's my vacation. I'm going to the Caribbean. And I said, no. You just told me you were going on a cruise. And he said, well, yeah, but I'm going to the Caribbean. I can't wait to go to the islands and be at the beach, have a great time. I said, man, you really got to kind of, so I guess this is the first thing that I try to help people when they're managing their expectations of going on a cruise is you're going on a cruise. You're going on an amazing ship. You're going to have all of the amenities you could ever dream of, especially on a ship like Harmony of the Seas. I mean, you're decked out with everything. You have a room. You have, like I said, tons of activities. You've got pools. The ship is pretty much your destination. And I told them that. I said, you have to really keep in mind that when you're talking about going on this vacation, you have to realize that you're going on a cruise with some awesome stops in the Caribbean. You're going to see some great beaches. You're going to have some great time on land. But if you're thinking that you're going to the Caribbean and like you're going to be spending a week on an island, that's not what it is. That's not what a cruise is. And, he kind of took that in and he was like, oh, yeah. Maybe I'll think about it. And I remember a couple of days later, he came back and he said, man, I talked to my wife about that. She thought it was great. She was really like retooling what she was thinking about. She started looking more into what the ship had to offer instead of all the ports. And, we booked at this time, you could still book your shows, and they were in that range, and they started booking their shows and looking at dinners and really started digging on the activities. I remember how excited he was like when he started talking about some of the different, the slides on board and the pool, and we could do this, and oh, did you know they do this? And I was like, oh, now you're getting it. And I remember when he got back from that trip, he thanked me. He said, man, I got to tell you, like the refocusing of what we were expecting out of our vacation really helped me enjoy that cruise a lot more. And he was hooked. He was booking after that more and more and more. But I really think that a lot of that had to do with understanding. I've heard people come back from these cruise vacations and they're like, oh, that was so boring. I didn't even get that much time at this island. I was really looking forward to spending time on this island. And I'm always asking the questions like, what did you pay attention to your port times? How long you were going to be there? How many port stops you had? Were you really paying attention to that? No, I just saw that this cruise was going to Grand Cayman and I've always wanted to go there. And I thought it'd be cool. I'd get to go explore the island, have some time, and it was just going to be awesome. But then, I was just on the ship. And I really didn't feel like I had a full day in Grand Cayman. I was like, well, you're really not going to. Then you're not going to feel like you have a full day in Grand Cayman. You're just not on a cruise. You're going to have several hours there. It's going to be a great time. Then you're back on the ship, and that's you're back home, and you get to go finish out the rest of your week, and you're home. I think the next thing that people really need to think about when they're managing their expectations for a cruise is I've heard it on both sides. It's too much to do. There's too much going on. I don't want to be that busy. I don't want to be living on this schedule. I've seen one of those cruise plan thingies, and I don't want to be part of that cruise plan life. And I just want to wing my vacation. And I'm like, what? Or on the flip side, there's not enough to do. What am I gonna do on a boat for 7 days? And I think that either way, if that's your mindset going into this cruise, going into your vacation, you're lost. You've already set yourself up for some failure. There is as much, and everybody that loves cruising knows this. There's as much to do there's as much as you want to do, or as little as you want to do. Yeah, put all those words together and just kind of make it make sense. But you can be as busy as you want or as lazy as you want. I've never been bored on a cruise. I haven't. It hasn't happened. I've just never been bored on a cruise. I've always found something to do. Sea days, port days, staying on the ship on port days because there is so much to do, and I just want to squeeze it in with like less people fighting over the opportunity to do these things. My son and I really got hooked on trivia, on Navigator. We had done it before, but it was so much fun doing it with him. There's contests. If you're in Alaska, they're giving seminars and they're enrichment seminars, and you've got bingo, you've got music, there's just anything you can think of to do. Or you just put yourself on your balcony, you grab a book, you just pretend like you're reading it and you fall asleep. I mean, as much or as little as you want to do, that's what's there for you. And it just really can make your vacation so much better if you go into it with knowing those expectations. I think another really mismanaged cruise expectation is that when you're getting on that ship, 5-star dining. Oh, I'm going to be eating at Spiegel. I'm going to be eating at Wolfgang Puck's. I got, these ships, they're going to serve me the best food known to mankind. No. There's some great food on board. You got some great dining options on board all of these ships. And like I've said, I've sailed all the major lines: Disney, Norwegian, Carnival, Royal Caribbean. I've been on all of them. And there's some great food on all of them, and there's some not so great food on all of them. But I think if you just manage your expectations going in, that you're going to be great. You're getting good food. You're getting fed very well. You have almost unlimited options as to what you're going to eat. And I think that's important, because I was having the conversation with someone today that, man, you really can go on a cruise and you really can stay dialed in on whatever your eating lifestyle is. If you're eating keto, no problem. Go over to the carving station. Tell them to lop you off a leg of that lamb and put it on your plate and go to town. If you're eating low carb, if you're eating gluten-free, if you're vegetarian, I mean, they got you covered. So the options of food are immense, but the quality is hit and miss. It's definitely elevated in the specialty restaurants, and it's definitely not that same caliber in main dining room areas. The buffet, they put out some great food, but if you're not there when it goes out, obviously the quality is not going to be good. And it's always, it's a buffet. It's never going to be that as great as a fresh served meal. I do like that a lot of the cruise lines have moved to more of these little eateries. Like on Royal Caribbean, you have Playmakers where you can go order some wings and you're going to get them to order a burger to order. Norwegian has the local, or O'Sheehan's, or whatever they call it these days, whatever mix match of names that they have. And you can order food to order, comes out fresh, comes out made to order. Again, not Wolfgang Puck's, but man, is it good food? You're getting good food. So yeah, I think that's another expectation that people have to manage. And I think ultimately managing the fact that this trip, it could be whatever you want it to be. And the expectations have to be set going into it so that you can really make sure that when you jump on that ship that you're ready to go. It's going to be busy. There's going to be a lot of people, but there's going to be a lot of times where you feel like you have a lot of space. There's going to be times where you feel like you're crowded. There's going to be times where you're going to have to manage the crowds. Like, hey, do I really want to be part of this parade that's going on down on the promenade right now? Or do I want to go up top and soak in the night sky or the sunset and just really soak in the Caribbean or wherever you're sailing. So yeah, I just, those are a couple quick bullet points that I had that I really think about when I'm talking to someone when they're booking a cruise. And I'm sure there's a ton that I'm missing. So I'd love to know from you guys, what are some of the bullet points that I've missed about helping people to manage their cruise expectations, so when they go on their next cruise vacation, we can help them to ensure that they're going to have the best cruise vacation that they could possibly have. All right, guys, I know it's a short one, but I just wanted to get that off my chest, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.